Hello, YouTube. So, I'm not even done watching the Damo and Crissy. Well, it's not Damo and Crissy. It's the Crissy Tello video that is coming like 6, 7 months after their breakup. Finally, Crissy is deciding to talk about the subject after she'd been bullied and talked about and just all this negativity just sent her way. She's finally deciding randomly to just, post this video, which I'm sure if you're coming to this video to see, an opinion about it, then you most likely already seen the video. Maybe not all of it, but probably a good portion of the video. So I'm just gonna get straight into my opinion. It's not gonna be a long video at all. But I'm not even finished watching the video, but I watched enough to feel like I'm still a huge fan of Damo. But even though I know Crissy, I don't think she's now all of a sudden a saint after this video. That's not what I feel. A lot of people, they're apologizing, which I think they should apologize if they try to tarnish her because of how Damo painted the situation. Everyone felt like, okay, Damo's talking about the situation. Crissy is not talking about the situation, so therefore Crissy has something to hide. But like they say, sometimes the best thing to do is to stay quiet. If you're not guilty about anything, sometimes the best thing, even if you are under attack, is to just be quiet, because people will take what you say literal and they will run with it, and we all know this. So I'm still a huge fan of Damo. I still love her music. I still love Damo. I still think she's a great person. But I see a lot of similarities with me and Damo after watching this video from Crissy. I'm a very emotional person, and I can tell that Damo is a very emotional person. I also suffer with anxiety, and I can tell that Damo suffers from anxiety. So Crissy mentioned something in the video that, which you already knew, the relationship started to kind of tamper off a year before the actual breakup took place, which she said was last July. So a year is not a horribly long time, but if you're in a relationship like I was in the past, and you just know you should not be with that person, and you still sticking with it for whatever reason, which most of those reasons are just not even valid reasons, but we trying to, make it work, and we're trying to save something, even though we know the spark is going, like Crissy and Damo did. A year is a long time to be in a relationship, and you're really not feeling it. So what Crissy said is basically that, they weren't feeling it for a whole year, and they decided to part ways, and then right after that she got her hoeing on. Now, hearing that, a lot of people were talking trash about Crissy because they felt like she moved on too quickly. And I'm not gonna lie, after they made the breakup video, I believe it was last August, I was shocked that Crissy was already broadcasting the new person in her life. I thought that was really quick, and I thought that was really fast, and I was really taken aback by that. I felt like, I know I went through a relationship, and in the past, not my current relationship, but I was with someone for a year and a half, and even though I knew the spark was not really there, I knew it really wasn't going anywhere. And when we broke up, I still took it really hard, even though I knew the relationship wasn't meant to be. Kind of like with Damo, she knew that her and Crissy were not meant to be together, but Damo still took it hard, and that's who I am as well. Even though you hold on to, I think more of what it is more, it's not that you're holding on to that relationship, you're holding on to, oh my God, these are the possibilities that could have happened. Oh my God, I saw this future with this person. And even though you came to the realization that that person is not for you, you still holding on to the hopes and the dreams that you had and the plans that you made with that person, even though you know that is not the person for you. But I'm just going to get straight to the point pretty much. I just feel like I kind of understood Crissy's perspective from this video. Like I said, I don't think now all of a sudden she's a saint, and she's just, none of us are saints. I'm not going to say now she's just this little angel. She made mistakes, Damo made mistakes. But I just feel like basically Damo was, I honestly feel like she was kind of wrong now, looking back about how Crissy detailed the situation, from her feeling that she had postpartum depression, which is a very, very real thing. And it took a lot for her, I'm sure, to admit that. And I just feel like Damo kind of used that to her advantage. And like I said, I still love Damo, but I'm going to call you out if I feel like you're not, keeping it 100. You know, Damo did kind of paint this picture of Crissy, like Crissy is just this awful human. And I'm about to turn 22, so me and Crissy are pretty much almost the same age. And the person I am now, I kind of understand, even though a lot of stuff Crissy has done has been childish, I kind of get it, because even though I feel like I'm mature, and I think she has maturity as well to an extent, you're still at the end of the day in your early 20s. And when you're in your early 20s, you're going to make a lot of mistakes, as Crissy did. And Damo being a little bit older and a little bit more experienced, I feel like she kind of should have given her the benefit of the doubt on that. Another thing I want to address, you know, is the text messages that Crissy put towards, almost towards the end of the video. Basically, Damo was kind of using, I feel like, Dominic to kind of persuade Crissy to do what she wanted. Because in Damo's heart still, Damo was still, I feel like, mentally in the relationship. And when Crissy's doing other things with other women, she's, even though Crissy is single and free to do what she wants, the moment they broke up, if she wanted to go and screw somebody the night that they broke up, she's single. So I feel like Damo was wrong. And I can't believe I'm even saying this. I do feel like Damo was wrong. I feel like things, and I also feel like with Crissy, should not have entertained that. I feel like Dominic might have been still in Crissy's life. Because if it were me, for example, and I was trying to co-parent with someone like Damo, who's clearly very emotional, even though they were broken up and even though it was a mutual breakup, Damo was still kind of reeling from it. And with that being said, if I had been in Crissy's shoes, I would have, as soon as Damo brought up, you know, so I hear you're trying to have another baby with Mila. Is, you know, Dominic going to be in the videos with you and Mila, and keep bringing up, like, it was just weird to me, like how they will be talking about something, just focusing on Dominic, which is what it should have been. When you're a co-parent, I strictly believe, and I'm not a parent myself, but if I'm ever in the position someday where I have to share my child with my ex, it's going to be strictly about that child. And I feel like it was just very strange that Damo kept, like, even though Crissy was, like, responding, it seemed like in a timely manner, focusing the conversation on Dominic as it should have been, Damo somehow found a way, like, it would be, okay, so you're going to pick him up Friday, and then the next, very next text, just randomly, so, are you with Mila? Like, what does that have to do with Dominic's safety or anything with Dominic? How you going to jump from talking about your child and making sure that his welfare comes first, and then all of a sudden just the very next text message about her relationship that honestly had nothing to do with her, had nothing to do with Damo? I feel like it should have been strictly about Dominic. And I feel like where Crissy went wrong, honestly, is she entertained it. And that's what Damo wanted her to do, and she really honestly played right into it. Damo wanted, I feel like she wanted a reason to cut Dominic out of Crissy's life. And she, knowing that Crissy does have a lot of mouth, she knew that Crissy was going to take the bait. And then here we are, they're talking about Dominic, having a calm conversation, and then she bring up Mila, and then now with Crissy, she done struck a nerve, and then now Crissy's kind of getting defensive, which is understandable, because if it was my ex and we had a child and we co-parenting for the baby, and I've been looking at, like, I've been a good mom and he knows I'm a good mother, and then my ex was like all of a sudden, like, in my new relationship that has nothing to do with him, and it's not harming the child, your child is not in any danger, is not being abused or anything, what does that have to do with you? I would get really kind of pissed, and I would get defensive too. Like, I just feel like, I don't want this video to be too long, I just feel like Crissy should not have entertained when Damo started asking about her life. I feel like Damo did that because she wanted a reason to be able to cut Crissy out of her life, because it was too hard, not for Dominic, but it was honestly a selfish thing. I feel like Damo was being kind of selfish, and I feel like that Damo wanted a reason to cut Crissy off, so she knew the very things to ask, the very things to say to strike a nerve with Crissy. And then here you go, or, you know, the screenshot she put up there, Crissy's going off, and Crissy's pissed. And she honestly had a right to be pissed. But with Crissy being a non-biological parent and she had no legal rights, I'm just going to keep it real. Like, you can't be popping off. She should have just been like, you know what, Damo? Yes, I'm seeing other people. I'm seeing people, you know, now that I'm single, I'm free to do that. Please respect my privacy. She should have been like, you know, if you don't want him on the channel, she should have just, instead of her trying to argue with Damo, she should have just been, you know what? Okay, you don't want him on the channel? All right, I won't have him on the channel. We can revisit this conversation in 6 months. And then if that makes you feel comfortable, if you're still uncomfortable in 6 months, then okay, we'll reevaluate it in another 6 months. She should have just left it there. She should have never played into Damo's hands. And she should have just honestly been quiet. When Damo would bring up about Mila, she should have just been like, hey, you know, I am considering a relationship with her, or I am in a relationship with her. But when Dominic is around, I'm not going to have her around Dominic out of respect for you. And that's it. I don't want to talk about it anymore. If it concerns Dominic, then we can talk about it. We can continue this conversation. If it does not, then I would like to respectfully decline to continue this text message or to continue texting or talking with you until maybe tomorrow or the next day when you want to center the conversation back on our child. I feel like if Crissy would have not mouthed out, which I understand. Like I said, I get why she got defensive. I get it. She's a grown-ass woman. She is free to do what she wants after she was single. At the same time, I do feel like Dominic would have still been in her life, possibly, because Damo would not want to have look crazy if Crissy wasn't mouthing off and all these text messages showing that now Damo has something to use against Crissy's, you know, has something to use to her advantage. But all in all, I do feel like the video with Crissy was genuine. I do think we needed to see this side of her. I feel like hopefully now, this has been dragging on for a minute. Hopefully now we'll see less videos about this and we can steer the conversation to something else. All of my favorite YouTubers, they've been constantly covering this. Hopefully now that Crissy has given the closure that so many people wanted, I hope now we can move on. And just hopefully positivity will come into Crissy's life. Hopefully things keep going on for Damo that are positive. And I do hope that Damo will consider letting Crissy even just visit Dominic. Seeing in the text messages how hard Damo made it for her, like the California situation. She wanted her to fly out, and then she knew she was flying right back to Arizona, and she wanted her to get a rental car, knowing that Crissy was coming at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, right around rush hour in California. That's a really, really bad idea. She would have missed her second flight. Then she would have to pay for another ticket. Then she would have been out of more money. And then there was still no guarantee with the way that Damo was acting in the text that she would have even seen Dominic. So honestly, what would have been the point? You know, I feel like that, you know, this whole time I was like, dang, like she could have just showed up at Damo's house. If she really wanted to be in Dominic's life, you need to fight for your son. I'm like, if it was me, I would have just showed up at Damo's house. I would have just, you know, did this. But now seeing this video, I kind of get why Crissy didn't. Because Damo seems like the type of person where she would have been spiteful. She probably would have called the cops, said she was being harassed, all of that. And I kind of get why Crissy just was like, you know what? She probably recognizes, okay, Damo has a lot of pull. She has a lot of followers and supporters. And she has a legal team. I'm not even going to even waste my time. Like, one part that also caught my attention was basically, even though I know Crissy, I feel like she does. After seeing this video, I do feel like she did love him. Like, it shocked me as well that she said she had him from Monday through Friday for like a month. I was surprised by that. Very surprised. She clearly was taking an active role in Dominic's life. And I do recall where Damo was saying in the videos, unless she was being fake, that Crissy was a good mom. So I just feel that, honestly, I just hope that Damo will be open to letting Crissy be, even if it's not to the capacity as far as her having him for days on end, even if it's just to visit him. I think that would be the bright thing to do. And back to my thought just now, and I kind of get, if someone is giving you a really hard time, it kind of goes back to the situation if it's a straight couple and the father is trying to work with his baby mama, and the baby mama's trying to like put up walls and trying to make everything difficult. Even though you love your child, eventually you just say, you know what, this person is giving me a really difficult time to see my child, like what Crissy was going through, and this is gonna bring more negativity to my child's life. So maybe it is best that I take a step back. I don't think that's being a deadbeat. I think it's recognizing my presence is clearly irritating the other parent, and the other parent has more control than I do. So instead of me trying to put up this argument or trying to constantly, even though you're not fighting for your kid if you step back, I kind of feel like she just kind of was like, dang, like every time she try to get him, it's a problem. Now that she has a relationship, and that should not have been the case. It should have just been kept strictly about Dominic, and that's it. And I feel like things would have turned out way better. But I'm just gonna go ahead and end this video. I just wanted to quickly give my opinion while I was just thinking about it. Yeah, but thanks for watching.